Hello and welcome back to my vlog. In the suit, I came from the, we called it a celebration of life, or they called it a celebration of life for Aaron's granny today. And so I'm still dressed for that. There was only 3 of us in suits. 2 of those in suits had long hair and beards. So anyway, that's irrelevant. I'm reading another one about a death, because, you know, death, life, but it's not a person. The day we lost Tom. It was a cold, my grandfather. It was a cold, rainy day in late fall. The men had left the gravel pit and started for home. Their gravel beds were full. One little kid was left behind. He was driving his brother's team that day to haul gravel. His gravel bed was not full yet because he could not shovel as fast as they did. They called to him, "Come on, let's get out of here." But he stayed and filled it up all by himself. The gravel pit they were working that day was way over in Popular Creek. You had to go back a long lane through a field, then down a long winding hill to get to the gravel pit. You could haul only 3 loads a day, and the kid wanted to make his loads as good as any of the others. They were hauling the gravel on the road that went past his house. He would be nearly home when he dumped his load, but he had about a 5-mile drive, and it would be way after supper when he got home. So he shoveled away in the cold rain and the approaching darkness. He was soaked to the skin when he finally crawled up on the seat and started out of the creek bed and up the hill. He was mighty proud of his 2 fine big horses. They were Jack and Tom. No one had a finer team. It was child's play for them to ease that load of gravel out of there. The kid got down on the wagon tongue and patted them on the back. He felt a little lonesome and wanted to be closer to them. They shook their heads and snorted their approval too. They were glad this was the last load for the day. Just as he crawled back on the seat when they were about halfway up the hill, Tom staggered and fell. Jack stopped and braced himself to keep the wagon from rolling backwards down the hill. This puzzled the kid. He did not know what to do. It was getting darker all the time and the rain was getting worse. Finally, he found something to block the wagon. He unhitched both horses and led Jack over to the fence. Then he came back to Tom and tried to help him get up. No luck. The kid went to the nearest neighbor to call his brother, but they did not have a telephone. He ran across the fields through the wet grass and weeds to the next house. No phone. After running another half-mile, he almost fell in the door and gasped out, "Call my brother. Tom's down and cannot get up." They were eating supper. They did not know the kid, and of course they did not know who his brother was or who Tom was. They were good, kindly people, though, and here was a kid in distress. So they calmed him down and found out what the trouble was. Then they lit the lantern and took him back to Jack and Tom and waited with him until his brother came. When his brother got the message, he called a veterinarian. They both got there about the same time. The doctor was not sure, but he thought Tom had broken a leg. The kid knew enough about horses to realize what that meant. He got a lump in his throat and could not swallow. He was cold and wet and hungry. The doctor said they would have to wait until morning. The kid cried all the way home. He felt so bad they did not know that they had to shoot Tom. They buried him on the hillside where he fell. The whole neighborhood felt sorry for the kid. They knew his brother could not afford to lose such a fine horse. Through all these years, a cold, drizzly rain in the evening in the late fall always reminds me of the dreary night I lost Tom. I was that kid. Make it a great day, and bye for now.